I hope Caitlin Clark had a personal agenda against LSU. And I know there's nothing personal between me and her, so I don't need to be seeing her drop 50 on us next weekend, you know? So I love her. I think she's the best player. Forget I ever said Paige is the best player in the country. I think she's the best player of all time. I don't know whoever said that I said that Paige is the best player in the country.
The WNBA has seen its fair share of drama, but the latest news about Caitlin Clark and Geno Auriemma has really grabbed everyone's attention. It's shaking up the basketball world in a big way.
If it was just about talent, recruiting would be easy. But I wouldn't be at your game if you weren't talented enough to play for us. Now, let's put that aside as if that doesn't matter. And now all the other things that come into play are what make you want.
Just when it seemed like the league couldn't get any more exciting, new footage of Caitlin Clark's intense off-season training dropped, and it's a total game changer.
Need us at mid-court after 50 shots.
So as you know, today you were the first WNBA rookie to record a triple-double and the first in Fever franchise history. So with all the rookies that have come before you and players, what does this mean to you?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Honestly, I feel like we played a really good game, and you don't get it without your teammates finishing baskets for you. So it's pretty cool. Obviously, this franchise has had a lot of really great players. So to be
Video, already seen by millions, shows Caitlin Clark completely leveling up, both in strength and skill. She's no longer the slim rookie that critics like Auriemma once underestimated.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in, and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
Legendary UConn coach Geno Auriemma, who once doubted Clark's ability to handle the physical side of the WNBA, is now having to rethink everything. The Iowa standout has come back stronger, quicker, and more unstoppable than ever, but this isn't just about Clark's personal transformation, it's a message to the whole league. Defenders who used to think they could push her around are now facing a whole new challenge. And the debate is only getting louder. Will Clark's incredible transformation be enough to quiet her critics? Or will Auriemma and others stick to their doubts and keep questioning her?
This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. Being enthusiastic kids is harder than it's ever been. Because every kid watches TV and they watch the NBA, or they watch Major League Baseball, or they watch the NFL, whatever sport they watch, WNBA, it doesn't matter. And what they see is people just being really cool. So they think that's how they're going to act.
One thing's clear, the WNBA will never be the same. Make sure you don't miss a moment of this unfolding story. Like, share, and subscribe to stay on top of all the latest updates. Now, let's dive into why Caitlin Clark's rise is turning out to be the biggest story of the year. Her arms, once slender, are now packed with muscle. Her core strength is rock solid, and her explosiveness is on another level. This isn't just about getting stronger, Caitlin Clark is redefining what it means to be a superstar. Fans and analysts are blown away, but the real buzz is about how her critics are reacting. Geno Auriemma, the legendary UConn coach who once questioned whether Clark could handle the physical demands of the WNBA, is now under fire. His past comments, seen by many as dismissive and condescending, are coming back to bite him. Clark's transformation is a clear response to his doubts, and the entire basketball world is watching. Social media is lit up with debates, memes, and hot takes as fans and players jump into the conversation.
To secure defensive boards. LSU, an outstanding offensive rebounding team. Clark connects!
Confident inner mid-range.
And I think Iowa is okay giving up the mid-range.
Here's Clark driving in for two. It's third most amongst active players. Clark, backdoor, Martin, easy two. It was Poa who drew 2 offensive fouls.
Remember to hand up in the direction we're going, right? Hand up in the direction we're going. So it's right hand up, going that way, left hand up, coming back. Ready? Back quickly!
When it comes to putting together a championship team, few know more than Geno Auriemma. After leading his teams to 8 national titles, the Connecticut head coach has excelled at motivating his players to perform at the highest level.
Clark's training footage says it all. She's proving Auriemma wrong through sheer hard work and determination. This isn't just about adding muscle, she's leveling up every part of her game. From powerful post moves to sharper mid-range shots, she's fine-tuning her entire skill set. The message is loud and clear: Caitlin Clark is here to dominate. And not even a legendary coach can stand in her way. As for Geno Auriemma, his controversial remarks are now fueling an even bigger conversation. Geno Auriemma's comments about Caitlin Clark were always bound to stir up controversy. When he suggested she might have a hard time handling the physical play in the WNBA, it came across as a direct challenge.
Take a breather, but Caitlin Clark in the Indiana has really taken upon her shoulders to be more aggressive offensively to trade, and she has stepped up her game in that opportunity. Caitlin Clark for 3.
Recently being the first WNBA player that has recorded consecutive 20-plus.
I love her. I love the way Caitlin Clark is playing.
Left to play here in the first quarter. Looking for Reese. Bentley tips it away and off and running. Caitlin Clark wins the pass. Thread the needle. Working it around here for the Fever. Good ball movement on this possession.
A coach with 11 national titles under his belt is no stranger to making bold statements. But this time, his words hit a nerve. Critics argued his comments weren't just unfair, they downplayed Clark's undeniable talent. The backlash was immediate and intense. Fans and analysts were quick to remind everyone that Clark had already cemented her place as one of the most dynamic players in college basketball history. Her ability to score from anywhere on the court, along with her elite passing and high basketball IQ, makes Caitlin Clark a once-in-a-generation talent. So, to suggest she couldn't handle the WNBA raised a lot of eyebrows now. With her latest training footage making waves, Auriemma's comments seem even more out of touch. It's clear the Iowa star took his criticism personally, and used it as motivation to transform both her body and her game.
Clark's been impressed by Cam McGriff's performance tonight. He's been here the whole time.
The fourth. And off Clark, launches, and hits a 3.
Left shoulder.
Austin had her 11th double-double of the season, and Clark.
Some say Auriemma's comments were meant to challenge Clark, not dismiss her. But no matter the intention, the optics are clear. In the court of public opinion, Auriemma is on the defensive, and it's Clark who's delivering the knockout punch.
Pablo kind of hit the nail on the head. We should be talking about this next great rivalry that is being formed with these two, because that was fun. That was one of the most fun championship games I've watched in a long time. But instead, this is ballooned into a much, much larger, darker conversation. This is about who feels comfortable with who. And while oftentimes, a lot of times in these conversations, women are at the bottom of those totem poles, in particular, black women. So I think about conversations like Angela Bassett in the Oscars, Dawn Staley's recent comments after that Final Four loss. Like, we understand.
In this play, all eyes are on the evolution of Caitlin Clark. Her journey from college sensation to WNBA superstar has been incredible. Her rookie season was a true trial by fire, with defenders constantly testing her with relentless physical play.
Let's go to that question which raises some sensitivities of rivalries between players. In the case of Angel Reese, who's just had to shut it down because of a wrist injury, Caitlin Clark, who's continuing to play. Rivalry that goes back to their college days, presumably, where I guess some trash talking entered in. But now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more menacing turn, where race has been introduced into the conversation, where sexuality is sometimes introduced into the conversation. How do you try and stay ahead of that, try and tamp it down, or act as a league when
Wheeler, Clark launches, hits a three.
One of the things that I find frustrating sometimes is that, like, people say, the women's basketball, the only player that really matters is Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And I will say, like, I write articles and I see SEO. When I have Caitlin Clark in the headline, the article does a lot better. Like, I'm not going to deny that. And it does a lot better. And so, like, I have an incentive to include her name in the headline and to write about her because that's my job. I need to write articles that people read. And when you write about other players that are like legends in their own right, that just don't have that mainstream, familiarity with their name, like, people don't click on those articles. And so your takeaway might be like, okay, I just won't cover those players anymore because nobody cares. But I don't think it's that nobody cares. I think it's that nobody knows.